everybody, welcome to my channel if you're new here, and then if you're a subscriber, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make this super cute mini octopus plushie. Now this is actually my own pattern. This is the first pattern that I've ever created. I created it last year, and my favorite part about this pattern is that it is no sew. I hate sewing, and I really wanted something that was just super quick and easy to whip up. I feel like these octopi do really well at markets. I'll insert a picture here. I recently made a bunch of them for a wholesale order, and they're just so aesthetically pleasing when you have them in the rainbow. And yeah, I just think they're super adorable, and they're super easy for beginners. So I kind of wanted this to be my first tutorial video just because it is a super short project that everyone can whip up. And if this is your first, crochet plushie, I feel like it's a pretty good beginner project. But okay, let's jump into the video. So the stitches that you'll need to know to make this project include single crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, increases, decreases, and a magic ring. I don't necessarily go into these stitches in detail while going through the tutorial, but I'll definitely link in the description some helpful tutorial videos on those specific stitches to help guide you if you are a complete beginner. But with that being said, this pattern, even though it is beginner friendly, if you don't know the foundational stitches that I just mentioned, it might be worth checking out videos first to learn those stitches and then jump into my tutorial for the octopus. For the materials needed to make this octopus, you will need any yarn of your choice. It can be one color, you could also do multiple colors, but in this video, I'll be using this Bernat Velvet pink yarn. I'll also be using a 5mm hook. I feel like this is the best combination for this yarn, but if you do use different yarn, just know that the plushie will turn out either bigger or smaller than the one that I walk you guys through. Same thing with the hook size. If you decide to change that, it'll just affect the size of your plushie in the end. In terms of other supplies, you'll just need like some scissors, 2 stitch markers, 2 12mm safety eyes, some tapestry needles, and then some stuffing. I personally use polyfill. And since the octopus is pretty small, I'll show you guys the finished product. You won't need a lot of yarn and stuffing.
Alright, let's get started. So for round 1, we're going to be doing 6 single crochets into a magic ring. And then we'll place a stitch marker on our last stitch to keep track. For round 2, we're going to be doing 6 increases. So we're putting 2 single crochets into 1 stitch, and we'll repeat that 6 times. For round 3, we're going to be doing 1 single crochet followed by an increase, and we're going to repeat that 6 times. So we'll do single crochet, increase, increase all the way around. Alright, for round 4, we're going to be doing 2 single crochets followed by an increase, and we'll also repeat that 6 times. So 2 single crochet, increase, 2 single crochet, increase. And we'll do that all the way around. Alright, for round 5, we are now doing 3 single crochet followed by an increase, and we'll do that 6 times as well. And this is the last round of forming the body, so after this, there won't be any more increases. And then as you can see now, we have our nice little body. Now for round 6 through 11, that is 6 total rounds, we're just going to be crocheting 30 single crochet around. And we'll do that again for 6 rounds. Ooh, sorry, the camera's a little shaky here. But alright, when we finish that up, we are now going to move on to round 12, where we start decreasing. So we're going to do 3 single crochets followed by a decrease stitch, and we'll repeat that 6 times. Okay, and then at the end of this round, we start seeing our body really start taking form. But before we start on round 13, I'm going to grab my second stitch marker and I'm going to place that in the back loop of that first stitch in round 13. We'll come back to this stitch in round 14, so it is a good place marker for us to reference. But alright, now on to round 13. In the front loops only, we are going to be putting a half double crochet and then 3 double crochets all into one stitch. This will actually form the tentacles. And then we'll slip stitch into the next stitch. And then we're going to skip the next one. And we're going to repeat this whole process in the brackets 8 times. And this will form our 8 tentacles. And remember, we're going to be doing this in the front loops only, this entire round. And then as you can see, as we go along, the tentacles are starting to form and they look so cute. But okay, before we start round 14, we're actually going to pause here to place our eyes. So go ahead and grab your 12mm safety eyes and the backings, and we're going to be placing these eyes between round 8 and 9. So the way I like to count the rounds is going from the top of your plushie and finding the magic ring and then counting each row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I'll place my safety eye there. And then I like to place these eyes 6 stitches apart. So again, I'm going to use my fingers to count the stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Place it there. And oh my gosh, I didn't realize at the time until I started looking at the camera. I'm like, wait, these eyes aren't the same size. So I guess a different size was mixed in with my 12mm eyes, but there you go, I fixed it. Okay, much better. But alright, yep, just put the backings in now, and we're going to proceed on to round 14. We're almost done. So now in the back loops only, where we placed that stitch marker in the last round, we're going to be doing 2 single crochets followed by a decrease, and we're going to repeat that 6 times. It is a little tricky working in the back loops, at least for a beginner, so that's why we placed that stitch marker there to help give you a good starting point. And then once you make your first single crochet into there, you can remove the stitch marker. So yep, I'm just going ahead making 2 single crochets. Oh, and then your tail from the beginning, it should still be dangling from your plushie. We're going to be using that later, but just feel free to move it out of the way as you go around decreasing. Alright, so now for round 15, we're going to do 1 single crochet followed by a decrease, and we're going to repeat that 6 times. And for this round, we are back to working into both loops. Alright, so after this round, we're actually going to pause here. I'm going to bring out my yarn a little so it won't unravel, but we're actually going to start stuffing. So grab your polyfill and start stuffing your octopus. I really like to make the octopus really fat, so feel free to stuff it to capacity. But alright, now round 16, it's the last round. We're just going to go ahead and do 6 decrease stitches. And this will officially close up our octopus. Once you've reached your stitch marker, just take it off, and it's time to fasten off. So I would leave a 6-inch tail for sewing, and then go ahead and pull that yarn through. And then let's grab our needle, and we're going to thread the needle through, and we're going to start weaving that through the front loops of that last round so we can create a cinched closure. So once we weaved our tail through all of those front loops, we're going to go ahead and pull that tail tight to cinch that gap close. We're going to then just weave the tail in and out to secure it throughout our plushie. And then an extra step that I like to do is carry that tail from our original magic ring. I left that in there because now at the end, I'm going to take that tail and tie it to this other yarn tail to really make sure there aren't any loose strings inside our octopus and it's really secure. So then I went ahead and tied a knot, cut it off, and then I used another needle to push those threads into the octopus. And yeah, there we go, you're done!
And I just wanted to show you guys, I also made this octopus using the same exact pattern, but I just used a smaller hook size and acrylic yarn. And as you can see, it turned out smaller and a slightly different look. But this pattern is pretty flexible. I really would be curious to see it being made with like some chunkier blanket yarn and kind of making a bigger version of it, even though I feel like it's really cute if you keep it small and mini. But yeah, they make the perfect little desk friends. Oh, can you see Shay's tail? Shay's literally on the desk here. But yeah, they make the perfect little desk friends. They're perfect for markets, and they're pretty easy and quick to whip up. And I love that they're no sew, because who wants to sew? Alright, you guys made it to the end of this video. I hope that you are in love with your new octopus friend. If you want me to film more tutorials, leave a comment down below what plushie you would want me to make for you guys, and I'll definitely see if I can do it in the future. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Tag me on Instagram if you do make your own little octopus desk friend. I would love to see everybody's work. And yeah, thank you again for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!